Hello, welcome to the final episode of Art Tightrope Walking. This video series has been a collaboration between Amplify Results Consulting and Rentouch. I hope you found it interesting, and now we're going to talk about what to do after the PI planning event is completed. Art Tightrope Walking with me, Ian J. Franks, resulting from a collaboration between Amplify Results Consulting and Rentouch. Firstly, I hope there's been time for some celebration. You've just completed a distributed PI planning event with teams in multiple locations. Well done, that's no easy thing to do. Hopefully you've now got a good plan moving forward, but now you need to move into execution, and you need to help teams coordinate and stay aligned, and you need to monitor and adjust as things change because the real world is going to hit. So how do we do that when we're in multiple locations? Well, you've probably got your teams, your Scrum Masters, and your teams and your product owners in different locations. You've probably got architects and product managers as well, dotted in some different locations around the world. This is going to be really challenging to find working time zones that allow everybody to work together. Now, if everybody's in Europe or in a similar time zone together, maybe in the Far East, then you've not got too many problems. You've only just got a few hours separating you, and you can schedule some regular meetings for your Scrum of Scrums and your PO sync. However, if you've got wider time zones and bigger challenges, this is not going to be quite so easy. So how do we approach this? Well, you need to be considerate again to everybody's agenda. Maybe you alternate and you have 1 week where your meetings are kinder to one time zone, and then the next week they favour a different time zone. Alternatively, you may want to adjust your meetings during the week. For example, I like to have 2 Scrum of Scrums in a week, so maybe one of those is favourable to one time zone and another one more favourable to another. So you can adjust and flex accordingly. Like with most things, we're thinking about trying to develop a sustainable pace. And there's no point in having the meetings if half of the release train are unable to attend. So you've got to find a way to balance these two timings out. On the screen at the moment, you see an example of how you might have an agenda that alternates and favours different time zones for different weeks. This is the sort of thing you need to be thinking about. This is the kind of thing that you want to make sure you line up and communicate with the rest of your teams, particularly making sure that you have regular synchronization meetings. So what else to think about besides those regular executions? Well, the next thing to think about is your next PI planning event. Hopefully you've taken the time at the end of the last session to get some feedback that will help you think about how you might want to plan your next session, what changes you need to make as a result, and learn from those, and make sure that the team and the people on the release train understand what changes you've made and how you've responded to their feedback. I'm not going to cover the inspect and adapt event here because we talked about that in a previous episode, but what I will say is you do need to be thinking about the timing of your events and your PI cadence throughout the rest of your year and beyond. Do take time to think about national holidays, religious holidays and events like that. After all, in our House of Lean, we're looking for respect for people and cultures as well, so let's make sure that we really live and breathe that too. Once you have a PI cadence that works, obviously try and stick with it, but keep inspecting and adapting. Events are prone to move, particularly religious holidays, so do make sure that you keep adjusting and amending accordingly, and that applies to your Art Sync meetings as well. When you have your cadence, make sure that you keep publishing it on a rolling 12-month period. Make sure people know in advance when they're being expected to attend PI planning, inspect and adapt events, Program Backlog Refinement, Art Sync meetings. The more information and more advance warning you give regarding these meetings, the better it's going to be to help you run your distributed release train. So as we now conclude our final episode of this series, I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen. I hope that this has given you some ideas and some thoughts, maybe helped you solve a couple of your challenges, and we welcome your feedback. So please let us know what you think. My name is Ian J. Franks, and you've been watching Art Tightrope Walking. Thank you.